Parker, and welcome back to 60 Minutes. For our next story, we will be exploring the world of roll your own cigarettes. This epidemic has swept the nation and has found itself in the homes of young Australian families. Tonight, we are interviewing a young Australian mum about her experience as an ex-roll your own cigarette user and the detrimental impact it has had on her life. But first, here to tell us more is Dr. Sarah Robinson from the Department of Tobacco and Narcotics to enlighten us on the science of cigarette use.
In today's society, cigarettes go by the name as rollies, roll-ups, burns, rolls, durries, and ciggies. These names, however harmless they sound, can't hide the fact that these cigarettes are filled with more chemicals than just nicotine. Our latest research discovered that the standard cigarette, rolled or commercial, contains the following harmful chemicals: tar, formaldehyd, acetone, commonly found in nail polish remover, carbon monoxide, mercury, lead, and arsenic, which is commonly found in rat poison. This becomes increasingly more interesting in that, according to research, one of the most common reasons that people roll their own cigarettes is due to the belief that this method exposes them to less chemicals. However, this could not be further from the truth. Smoking has been continually proven to cause a range of side effects, including increased risk of stroke and brain damage, cancer on the nose, lip, tongue, mouth, and throat, emphysema, and heart disease, yet still isn't enough to deter these avid smokers. From our department research, we discovered that 56 of the respondents roll their own cigarettes, while 22% purchase commercial cigarettes. Around 60% purchase papers, filters, or tobacco pouch weekly, 25% purchase monthly, and 15% purchase daily. Surprisingly though, within this pool of smokers, approximately 80% do not support smoking as a practice. Of these respondents, 86 claimed that they were not comfortable exposing their family or young children to smoking, with 60% of respondents having kids of their own under the age of 6. Back to you, Natalie.
Thank you for that, Sarah. The truth about smoking is truly terrifying. Someone who knows this more than anyone is our next guest. She has asked for her identity to remain hidden as she shares with us her experience as a roll your own cigarette smoker. Hi, thank you for being here with us today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm 33 years old, a wife and mother to 2 children under 6, and for 14 years I was a regular cigarette roller.
If you don't mind me asking, how often do you roll?
When I was younger, maybe 5 to 7 times a day, but after I had kids, maybe 1 to 3 times, whenever I could find the time, really.
And what would you say was your main reason for smoking this often?
Smoking for me has always been a form of stress relief. My life has always been riddled with stress and anxiety, and like everyone else, I found a coping mechanism. Unfortunately for me, I became reliant on cigarettes to function.
So if you were smoking that often, would you isolate yourself or was it more of a social activity?
When I was younger, it was definitely something I did with my friends. But when I became a mother, I knew smoking was not something I wanted to expose my children to. As a stay-at-home mom, I would go out to smoke down the side of the house when they were napping or at night when their dad came home from work.
And how would you dispose of your cigarettes?
I have hidden an ashtray out there. Or if I'm at the front of the house, I stomp them out, then put them in the bin.
And what would you say your husband thought about your smoking habits?
He was definitely not a fan, and for a while there really caused problems in our relationship and our parenting dynamic. We'd constantly argue about how much money I was spending on smoking. By the time I bought the papers, the filters, and the pouch of tobacco, it was easily more than $50 a week. And as a one-income family at the time, I knew the burden my smoking was placing on my family.
Wow, that must have been hard on both of you. Now being a reformed smoker, what advice would you give others?
Quit. Do whatever it is you have to do to quit. Join a support group, use patches, Nicorette spray. Quit cold turkey if you can, or wean yourself off tobacco over time. Find what works for you, and I promise your quality of life, your relationships with your family and friends, they will all improve. Quit Victoria was a great resource for me, and I wouldn't be here today without them.
What's your general opinion on smoking?
Overall, I'm sympathetic. I understand how dependent you can be on tobacco, how rolling your cigarettes becomes a part of your daily life, how you crave the relief. If you had told me 6 months ago that I would quit, I wouldn't have believed you. But now, today, I can look back and acknowledge that although it was undeniably hard, it has been one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Thank you so much for your time tonight. We really appreciate your insight. That's all we have time for tonight. We hope that we've been able to enlighten you about roll your own cigarette use. From all of us here at 60 Minutes, we hope you have a good night and we'll see you back here next week.